there is no element of sex in the universe. How do you feel it? It is new, isn't it? No. Even the Bible, where universe is started with a sense of createdness, there also God has created the universe. First he created Adam and Eve. He created a tree and asked them not to take the fruit. But they have taken it. Then started all the diseases of the world. So it is assumed. Sex is an assumed element of the universe. Leaving alone this physical way of expression, the Hindu philosophy says it is element of existence. We can see it every time, even now. It is the source, it is the base, something to exist before we think of its conduct or any activity. Existence is the base. That's all. Now, man thrives for existence. Just as the Bible says, man has taken the fruit, though he is prohibited, and then assumes himself as an element of the God's creation. Same way, every human being or every being and the entire cosmos, external cosmos, and we are comprehending cosmos. The entire external cosmos and the comprehending cosmos is element of existence. Beyond that, anything is assumed. Are we the assumed element or the base element? We are the base element. There is no doubt about it. Assumption can be innumerable. Let us put the question directly onto self. Am I the designed element of existence or an assumed? Assumption starts with the human physical body and then all the activities externally, all the names and forms and deeds, properties, anything. These are all assumed. They are assumed as self. That is the greatest disorder. Now, the trouble starts where man feels that sex is his right of the birth. Right of the birth. For that, he creates so many assumptions. He goes to the female, or the female goes to the male with an excitement. Whether he is meeting excitement or meeting the opposite sex. That's the question. First, he is meeting the excitement. Excitement is not the element of existence. Okay? Excitement is not the element of existence. Element of existence is stable enough. Let us not see the vastness of the greater cosmos or the comprehending cosmos. It would be any huge mass or huge area or huge capacity, but that is one as a stable entity. Even many scientists, Charles Darwin, with all his experience and scientific approach, he said, Bible says the universe is stable, but it is not stable. Cell is moving, it is changing. Now he is in debate. He believes Bible, but he all the way while he believes his experiment also, but they are contradictory. So he should be confirmed on one. He is not confirmed. This is the order. So let us come to a decision, say that the universe is always stable. With all the disturbances today we have in the universe is stable. It is balancing. It is balanced then and there and stable. So life is starting with wrong assumptions of sex. With the wrong assumption of sex, beings come out. They, as children, they are also brought up in the same way. It is because the parents believe in sex. So the same belief, and they believe in sex, they lead a life in the same belief. So the same thing is transmitted to the children. They move about in the same way. I mean, we go out, they are given education. Education is about the externals. All sciences are external. All transactions, business, living media is external. The basic is lost. Basic is living media is the element of existence. Without existence, nothing can be transmitted by any being to outside, for any reason, for any want. In fact, if there is a want from outside, we should immediately put a question, is it the want of the external or the want of realization of the element of existence? It is because the element of existence within is not in comprehension, is not in awareness. Man tries to seek it from external. This is the one and only mistake, even for assumption, only one and only mistake. His element of existence is not in awareness, is not at least in his lights. That's how man seeks external. Every external he assumes. Assumption is that is assumed as his existence. So he says, without that, I have no existence. Right. Then the word comes, life, living. So where does he live? Either he lives in the element of existence or in the assumed factor. Everyone thinks of assumed factor and then builds up cause and effect over it. So life is not life. Life is not life. It is because the base is lost. Life is, say in even English, is living. Living. Living is something potential, not dead. Living, seeking life is something stable, undisturbed. Man wants undisturbed living. But he wants to seek undisturbed life in disturbed assumptions. Basically, it is wrong. It's wrong to the concept of life. Man may prove the utility of money, utility of wife, utility of children, utility of anything external. They are for utility. Utility of whom? Say if he says utility of me, okay, they are all utilized. Man's life is not life. This is an alarming statement It's because man doesn't imagine. Man doesn't imagine his element of existence. Element of existence is basic design element with him. Design element. It is something like a screen where upon which a cinema is projected. Cinema may be moving. Screen doesn't move. There is no film cinema without a screen, but a screen has no cinema. So also, my existence has no external entities. While external entities cannot be assumed without my element of existence. At least this is a secondary statement. First statement is, I am the element of existence. Nothing else. The element of existence is subjective element throughout the universe, whether it is 5 elements or any being or any activity. This is the first element. Next element is, without the element of existence, there is nothing external, because external is assumed. Assumed is the existing is assumed the other way. And then from the assumed things, they try to pick out, they try to derive the element of existence. As long as this is not understood, life is not life. Today we see, for the sake of a life in the external world, man creates so many objects, so much of a business. Just to see a vegetable vendor shouting, say he is selling, say, carrots or beetroots or vegetables. Just listen him promptly. Either he is shouting vegetables, or he is shouting for money, or he is shouting for life. He is shouting that I have to live, I have to live. He is not shouting the vegetables, I have to live. So life, in that way, I want money, I have to make out. This is my business. This is my means of life. This is another word, means of life. Life doesn't need any means. That let us understand, means of life. Life is misunderstood as life with the external world. But I have a life with me, designed, original, which is the life that we, first of all, understand, or which is the life we try to project outside, which is the life we keep in awareness, which is the life we are conscious of. These words we never even consider for our thinking. Let us understand one thing. We use the word thinking. Thinking is inside. This is a non-physical entity. Every object is thought, is subjected to thinking. Thinking is inside. The word in English, it is thinking, where it cannot define itself correctly. In Veda, in the language Sanskrit, it is alochanam. Alochanam is asmato lochanam. So every object, consideration of the object, the very word consideration, it is considered with respect to projecting onto the element of existence. It is considered. How do I exist by that? How do I sustain by that? I sustaining, I living, I considering, I am existing, my existence. But the external objects are even a status of life, and money earning, and then ego, and desire, avarice, jealousy. All these things are assumed. We feel when we pose to 2 elements or any number of elements outside, we feel that it is necessary. Even jealousy is necessary, he feels. Definitely not. Because we assume the external, we post everything to external and then try it. This is not thinking. We are posting external. Thinking is post to self. If we post to self, it's not necessary. We know it. So we have corrupted the element of existence, basic element of existence. This is not life. Life is defined in the language Samskrita, Jiva Pranadharane. Jiva Titi Jiva, Jiva Pranadharane. Prana is life and sustenance of life. Prana is life. Life, the very word, is not fulfilled. It's not full to explain correctly or define it. But he says prana. Prana is pratitena anayati. See, as it is designed, if I consider it, I take it, keep it in consciousness. This is prana. As it is designed is element of existence. That received for consciousness, as it is, without disturbing it or polluting it with any other external assumptions. That is prana. And the sustenance of that prana is jiva. That element which sustains it, that is jiva. Jiva is not explained in individuality, but it is explained, it is defined as a characteristical element of the universe. We are all characteristical elements of the universe. We are not individualized. We are not individualized human beings or man, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Okay, so you should see some new exposition through these words. Unless we take to that, our life is not life. In trying to make so many things, man tries to make his own assumed things at freedom. He has got his own way of freedom, his own way of life with freedom. Freedom comes where it is attitude. So he makes his own product. Business. Once it is a business, business is always a corrupt, because he makes something, he wants to throw it on the head of the other persons. He must purchase it. So we have to advertise. Advertisements can be anything today, because we are right to do anything. Freedom is our life today we have taken. Element of existence is not the life today. Freedom. So he makes advertisements. In the advertisements, see every advertisement, it will be as if fooling the other people. Oh, I am very great. Oh, without this you cannot. It is very great. This means techniques of advertisement. At least people should feel, but nobody can object it. It is because he has got freedom. We keep seeing, and these advertisements come where even while you are seeing a spiritual video or a good spiritual song, even at that time also, because it is capturing all the people, everybody is interested. So at that time, this advertisement comes. This advertisement has no relevance to the video or the song which is being taken by the man. Corrupted. It is because he should make money, and even the media admits it because he gets money. Money is ruling like how do you say? It's ruling us crookedly. Crookedly, money is ruling. Why don't you seize money? If you really want to see the universe, so another thing is, so man thinks universe is external. So go to the moon, go to Jupiter, go to wherever he feels. Is it possible? No. After having gone there, what has he gained? Has he gained the element of existence of the universe? He doesn't go there. He wants to see that. See, here is myself. He doesn't see himself first. He wants to see that object. Taxpayers' amount we have. Government money is there. And that venture, that science is taken as prestige. So they are promoted. So they make some means go up and see and come out. Tell something. And this assuming people who live on assumptions, they are attracted. People of the same feather flock together. People of same thinking, like-minded people, they like it. So in every YouTube, this also number of likes. That likes is his life. People think like that. So this is way we make our life not life. Our life is life with the element of existence. At least, even if the government is today, what is the government today? We have democracy. Democracy is freedom. Universe is only one. There is no freedom in the universe. Freedom to assume. If you assume, you had it. You had it. And people, and if you assume, you develop the proportionate attitude. How many number of attitudes we have? Innumerable. Every being, leave alone man, every being has one attitude at every instance of activity. At every instance of movement, he has got an attitude. That multitudinous attitudinal behavior is democracy. So anything can thrust, anybody can thrust, anything can be thrusted on anybody else. People who like it, they take it. So it's just something like a gambling. It's a gambling or a toss. This is not life. Life is not life. Life is not life. Let us understand. Life is not life. Life with the objects is not life with the element of existence, the designed element. Okay? We should think on it. But to save this situation, to save the people, also is very difficult. From our end, we have explained this even to the present Prime Minister. We have not received any response. Do not know whether it has reached him or not. Let man know what he is. Let man know what the universe is. There is no difference between the universe and what he is. Assuming many things is no life, is no democracy. This is swatantra. Swatantra is swatantra. Swasya tantra. Swasya means it is about the self. Swatantra doesn't mean freedom, right to freedom, right for attitude. This is not swatantra. This is not democracy. Because we see in the history, some people have lived for some time ruling in democracy. Later they found it is not correct. Then they switched to socialistic pattern. And for some time they do socialistic pattern, they promote. After that they find it very difficult. Though switch off. Let us not name it by external knowledge. This is where we are making the greatest mistake. through the gambling of the external, we try to derive one decision and say, let us apply this and do it. This is not correct. Project everything to the element of existence. Element of existence is already there. At every time, at every moment of a person or an individual or a being, element of existence is always enjoyed in fullness. So project it onto that. And how do we realize it? We realize it. How do we realize it? We realize it. How do we realize it? We realize it by only one means. Let us not assume freedom externally. Let us bind ourselves to us. This way, the language Samskrita calls our action, activity, and our existence also as Pashu. Pashu is not animal. Pasha bandhani. Everything is bound to me. I am bound to me. This is how, in the language Samskrita, even the word Siras. Siras is head. That's how the English language says. Head is not a defined statement, a defined word to give us the reality of it. But Siras, Shreyati Swange iti Siras. Let us know the design, we'll appreciate. Siras has, in the physical body, Siras has control from over all the body. It gets signals from throughout the body, keeps it in its administration, and it has got control over itself also, control over all the body and control of itself. This is Siras. This is what we want today. Even the ruling administration of the country, administration of the world should be that. I have controlled myself. I have the control from all. This is the ruling required for every individual. For every individual should think of that, and how to sustain this, how to educate the people. We have fund of knowledge. Hindu philosophy talks only this. But today, the assumption of freedom is so vast, so corrupted, that even the Hindu philosophy is projected wrongly. It is explained metaphorically with some Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. They say Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu is kept away from us. Temples are kept away from us. God concept is kept away from us. And scientist is trying to see God particle somewhere at one place. God particle is not at one place. It's pervading. That is the universe. Tasya sikhaya madhye parama atma vyavasthitah sa brahma sa shiva sa hrisendra sokchara paramaswarat. Whatever, any number of deities or formats explained in the Hindu philosophy, all are told in one this thing, that is the element of existence which is in consciousness stably with us. That is all deities explained in the Hindu philosophy. It is for the common man to understand, and all the deities are his realities in which he is able to comprehend them. If there is a real differences explained in the Hindu philosophy, those differences are the differences of the comprehension of the man. Differences are with respect to the comprehension of the man, not with respect to those deities. Well, the universe is not objective. It is subjective. Whatever is seen is not the There is one scientist, I remember, don't get the name of the scientist. He says, are we really seeing what we are seeing? He's very correct. We are not seeing, because seeing is an entity inside. I see. If I have to see milk I can see in a vessel. Or if it is thrown onto the ground, that area permitted. Same way, anything if I have to see it in my vision. In my vision, everything I talk is in my conception. After I take it to my grasping is my projecting to the element of existence and to my consciousness. And I can consider only then. So anything we say, any activity we say is only with respect to self. Only with respect to self. Only with respect to self. Nothing with respect to external. To sustain this is freedom. And this is highly potential. Because once you projects to self being highly potential and very vast, stable, eternal, all his thoughts will be of that characteristics, stable, eternal, highly potential. It should be. So whenever is another way of another extraordinary projections of Hindu philosophy is where a man is conducting or any being is conducting, if his entity is full, his projections outside are full. He never fails outside. He never fails to sustain himself. He should work to sustain himself. He may work in any field, in the external. His working should be in terms of sustaining himself in fullness. Let him not cast his perspective to gain success outside. This is also, there is a idiom in English. It matters not whether you win or lose. What matters is how you play the game. Let me play the game as I am. Let me look at the game to check and change myself to the designed element. The element of work, the activity, every activity outside should go with this consideration, not to make it great. Once this is made correct, that will be automatically correct. If one wants to make the external as something great, that's a gambling. A gambling for the external, a gambling for the man. Man is lost. There is no life. Okay. Now, element of existence as the universe, element of existence as the design, and external. The external and element of existence has a media as we are trying to take it as life. Life must be live with the element of existence, with the universe. Once it is not live with the universe, life is not live. Let us make it live. We need to consider correction sincerely, because invariably we observe that every field is corrupted in the name of progress. Even the sacred language, Samskrita, is corrupted. Even other languages are corrupted. Even the field of music, field of cinema, field of promotions for government officials, and changing the parties to contest and gain the elections. Everywhere we see the object is made as the basis. we cannot, always there is a debate. If the party is ruling, there is an opposition party, always a tug. People try to make some policies because they should win again in the next election. Thus goes as, and people do not know how to rule the people also. It is, the ruling is enticing small things and betraying bigger things. We are trying to entice people in mundane terms and deceive them in real terms. It is not necessary. It is possible to educate them on reality and still win. Let us not dupe the people and then progress in all the fields. Let every man try to make his own ends by duping others. This duping is a very common thing today. And people really do not know that they are duped. And even if they know it, they feel that it is inescapable. This is very alarming today. It's not necessary. Let us be certain that it is possible today that the society, the world, can be in line with the universe. Can be in line with the universe. If only the society admits it and then follows the realities. Look, the universe is highly systematic, highly disciplined. Man wants to live in disciplined freedom of attitudes. Life is not life. Let us make life a live entity. Okay? Let's meet again.